Hey everyone, it's Emily. Welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you are new here. Today we are going over Wentworth puzzles and what it's been like to be an ambassador for them for my first month. I'm just going to go over all the puzzles that were gifted to me by the brand. Now this video isn't sponsored by them. These puzzles were just gifted to me for review purposes and to make content for them over on Instagram. But I thought I would share them with you, and I do have a code that I don't make commission on, so I'll link it down below. I'll put it on the screen. And in general, I'm just excited to share these with you, including 2 of their brand new extra difficult puzzles, which I was so nervous about, but I ended up loving. So we're gonna go over all these puzzles today. I'm so glad that you are here. Thank you for all who have subscribed to make this even possible. I feel like I can't believe this is my life, that I just get Wentworth puzzles for free in the mail. Like, it's so incredible. So we're just gonna get into this with the puzzles that I have gotten so far. So first up, we have these guys here. These ones you've already seen in a puzzle haul, but I have completed all of them. So I thought I would give you my opinions, how it's been, what it's been like. So the first thing that I have here is this little tiny Harry Potter puzzle. This is called Slytherin. It's just the Slytherin house crest. And even though it's only 65 pieces, it was a lot trickier than I was expecting because it is only a few colors. This one here is only gray, green, and black, and that's it. And it is a shaped puzzle in the shape of the crest. So for me, this was a little bit challenging for being such a small puzzle, but it ended up being so much fun. I actually have done it twice because the first time I did it when I first received everything and I was just so excited, but then I forgot to like take the pictures. So I ended up having to do it a second time, and it was just so much fun. I absolutely love this. You can see me like traveling with this. Next up, I have this little set here. This is a Mother's Day set called Just for Her. It is a little collection set of 4 puzzles, all by the same artist. They are 65 pieces each. Inside we have 4 little boxes. They all are shaped puzzles. So this one here is a champagne bottle with a little ice cooler. We have one that's a cake, one that is a bunch of flowers, and then one's a bunch of perfumes. As a gift as a whole, is a really beautiful gift. For me, I am considering breaking it up for other mothers in my life. So I have 4 people that I'm considering giving them to. So like my 2 sisters, my mom, and my mother-in-law. All love puzzles, and I feel like all would really like something like this. So I think it would be fun to like break up, or just give as a gift in general. Super fun, really liked it. There was one that was definitely more challenging than the others, which was I think it was the cake one. Took me the longest, but in general, they were super fun. Loved them, just a nice little treat. And again, nice and compact and travel friendly. Moving on to a couple 250-piece puzzles that they have sent over. This one here you guys saw in a puzzle vlog, so I'll put that on the screen so that you can see me complete this one. So this one is part of their Harry Potter line called Hogwarts Houses, and this one was so much fun. It's so much bright color. Love the image, love the coloring, loved the figurine pieces or the whimsy pieces. They were just like so nostalgic. There was like a sorting hat, there was a Hogwarts Express, there was a bunch of just like magical things, and I really enjoyed it. It was a good time. I did like how they have the different Hogwarts crests on the side, and there's just like a lot of hidden things inside, which is really cute. So I have a whole bunch of other ones too, but this one I love the color, so that's why I grabbed it. And in general, it was a good time. I liked it. And then the other one that they sent over, this one here is called Library Garden by Edward Artbeat, and I really enjoyed this one a lot. Oh, I've said that every single time. But this one was super fun. I just completed it today, so I'll put that on the screen so you can see. What I love about this one is that there is a puzzle inside of a puzzle, which sometimes is really tricky, but for me, I just want to own the puzzle that's in the picture, which I've discussed previously. So you can see it's like this really beautiful library. It's very like open. You can walk outside if you wanted to. Like in general, I just want to be in this library doing that puzzle that's on the table, because I love hot air balloon puzzles, and I feel like I've done something very similar to this puzzle, and it was just really fun to put together. They had a lot of, again, whimsy pieces or figurine pieces. I feel like it was a little bit harder to decipher what they were, because some of them are like a stack of books, or there's a radio and a few others that are like blocks, and you have to like turn it over to see what it actually was. So I do think figurine pieces wise, I wish they had maybe a little bit clearer of what they were, but in general, I just liked it a lot. Now let's move into the two puzzles that I'll give you a little bit more of a thorough review on. These are their extra difficult puzzles. I've never done one from them. When they asked for volunteers to do them, I was like, sure, I'll try some. And I will admit, I feel like I picked easier images of the difficult puzzles than some others that were there, because some of them look very tricky. And so we're gonna go, I'm just gonna show you what these look like, and then I'll actually do like overhead footage and such so you guys can see my experience and how I figured them out. So if you don't want to know spoilers, I'll put like a timestamp here so you guys can jump ahead if you are interested in these but you don't want to know the trick to them. I'll make sure you have an option to leave now or jump ahead so you can. So the two puzzles that they sent over of their extra difficult line, the first one that I had done is this one called Flowering Elephant. It's 244 pieces, and can we just say the color of this puzzle is phenomenal. Oh my goodness, it was like the brightest puzzle I'd done in a very long time. It was just so much fun. I loved the piece shapes, loved the trick to the puzzle, and I don't, again, want to give spoilers, so if you are wanting to know more about this puzzle, stay tuned for just a few minutes. But we also have this one here, which is called Spirit Owl, and this one is 256 pieces. This one, I loved it. I loved it so much. When I went into this, I was really nervous because this is an image I would not have picked at all. I was very nervous going into it, and it took me a bit to wrap my head around what my strategy was, and I figured it out, and it was so much fun. And so I love these puzzles so much, and so let's go back in time. I'll give you some overhead footage and show you how I completed them, and we'll be back here in a little bit. We are starting off with the Flowering Elephant puzzle, and before we get into it, I just want to let you know that there are some bruises on my arm from some blood work, so if you're squeamish at all, I just want to give you a little bit of heads up. But the big thing about these puzzles is the piece shape. So for the elephant one, the pieces are in the shape of elephants, and then there's a couple other variations of puzzle pieces as well, but a lot of them are those elephants, and they do go into each other, and they're all duplicate pieces. So this was a tessellation puzzle, so there's only a selection of piece cuts, and they all kind of fit together. So part of the challenge is to make sure that those pieces are in the correct place, because they can go in a lot of different places and you can easily have things go in the wrong spot. And the center of this puzzle was actually quite easy, and I will say that this puzzle in general was much easier of an image than a lot of the other extra difficult line. There are very distinct colors and line work and things to work from, and it is almost 100% symmetrical from one side to the other. There's a little bit of variation in the flowers and the background, but the elephant itself is identical on either side. So once you do one, the other side is pretty much the exact same but just opposite as far as the piece shape. And I eventually noticed that there was a pattern with a certain piece shape that ended up stacking inside of each other, and it was just one distinct style, so that made it go incredibly fast, because once I found all those piece shapes, they pretty much went one right after the other inside of each other. And so I'm slowing it down so you can see it a little bit easier, but as you can see, all the pieces kind of work together and I can easily put things in the wrong place, but those are the piece shapes I was talking about that I ended up able to just put one right after the other, and then after that it was like a row of elephants. And in general, this puzzle was beautiful. Like, look at that color, it was absolutely stunning. Now let's move into this owl puzzle, which image-wise I was nervous about. This is not a style I typically do, and it looked incredibly hard just because the line work just made it very dizzying when looking at all the pieces together. And similar to the elephant puzzle, as well as a lot of the other extra difficult puzzles, is that there are only a few distinct piece shapes, and they all kind of fit together. For me, I decided to sort out all the piece shapes so I was super organized. I think this is the most sorting I've ever done in a puzzle, and everything was lined up row by row, which made it easy to see where pieces lined up and fit into each other. So I instantly saw that the stomachs of the owls went into the owl pieces, so that instantly took away 50 pieces that I had to figure out. And then I ended up realizing that the owl pieces were divided up by the little, I called them bishop pieces, so I was able to do every other with those pieces, and just having everything organized was the key to this, to know where the puzzles fit together, and then you can just go one by one to match the pattern and the line work for those puzzle pieces. And I will say it was tricky kind of making sure that the line work was correct, and you'll see even at the very end I had some pieces that weren't in the right place. Now, I wouldn't call them false fits, because part of the challenge is to make sure that the pattern is correct and the pieces are in the right place. So it is something to note if you are someone who doesn't like working that way. But in general, this puzzle was absolutely stunning. You'll see in a little bit the pattern. So if you are having issues with this type of puzzle, it really is following a pattern and looking at the pieces more than looking at the image. Here is the final image. Super fun, wasn't as tricky as expecting once I figured out how to do it. Alright, so we are back and I completed the 2 extra difficult puzzles. They really weren't as bad as I was anticipating. There definitely is a trick to them, which was very helpful to discover. I would 100% consider getting more, especially some of their newer images. They are stunning. Those are all the puzzles that they have sent over so far. If you're just curious about the behind the scenes, what it's been like as a Wentworth ambassador, it has been so rewarding. For one, I do get to be a part of a bunch of puzzlers who are just as crazy and obsessed as I am. We call it like Wentworth Synonymous because we are just a little obsessed about the puzzles, to be honest, but it's been so much fun to connect. And so far before these puzzles is that I was only a Wentworth puzzler during the Christmas time. I had never done a puzzle outside of the holidays. So it's been really fun to explore other variations of what they contain, because I really didn't know many of their other artists or many of their other images, or even like the shaped puzzles I really hadn't done before. And so I was able to discover just other aspects of the brand. I will say something that I've noticed, that I'm awful at keeping secrets and knowing things ahead of time. So that's something I am learning, because when they had sent these over, I was super excited, was about to haul them on my channel. And then that's why in that haul video I had to like cover up these puzzles because they weren't launched yet. So being in the know ahead of time has been a little bit of a learning curve for me. Love every second of it, and I again want to thank you guys for making this possible. I will link all these puzzles down below. Again, I do have a 10% off coupon if you are interested in any of these. I don't make any type of commission on that. It's just for you guys to use if you want. Thank you so much for being here. If you are new, I would love if you subscribed. I'll probably do one of these videos every so often so you can get a little update on what other new Wentworths are coming into my collection. But thank you so much for being here. I hope you have a fantastic day, and I'll see you guys in the next one.